There it is.
Are you going to have someone show you this?
Yes, we can do that. Yep.
All right, without further ado, my name is Jordan Walters. My company is Walters & Co. I've been hunting from a little age. That's a picture of me with my dad and my grandpa. Unfortunately, what comes with that is hearing loss. The average shotgun shoots at 160 decibels, and scientists say anything over 140 causes significant immediate hearing damage. This doesn't look like a lot, but the way that it's measured, this is actually 100 times louder than what they consider to be hearing safe. On top of this, 75% of hunters, some people argue it's much higher than this, never wear hearing protection. I've never met a hunter that regularly uses hearing protection besides myself. When you ask them why that is, they all say one thing: you hear the animal, you hear the thing that they're chasing way before you ever see it. Now, you're going to hear the mallard flying overhead way before you're ever just going to look up and magically see it. Number two, it's a safety concern if you're not aware of your surroundings. You need to know where and hear your fellow hunter on the right and your left. Number three, it's plain out uncomfortable, and there's a lot of miseducation around hearing protection among hunters. Unfortunately, there's some serious health concerns with hearing damage. Hearing loss is a leading factor for dementia. A hunter is 5 times more likely to develop dementia than the normal average Joe. And on top of that, it's closely linked with depression and a low quality of life. What they call tinnitus is something that develops a high-pitched ringing in your ear, and unfortunately there are stories of people ending their lives because the pitch in their ear has gotten so bad that they can't hear others. Beyond the hunter, it's worse for the hunting dog. It's very common for hunting dogs to be completely deaf by the time they reach old age. They're no longer an effective hunter each time they take the shot, as they're scaring the pheasant away. Animals rely on their hearing a lot, so you have to be very quiet when you hunt. Number three, you're waking up the neighbors every morning at 5 a.m. So there has to be a better solution to this, and I'm sick and tired of this hearing damage in my community of hunters. There is a solution, and that's silencers. Silencers attach to firearms and decrease the noise emitted at the barrel. The CDC says they're the only effective noise control method, and they're the fastest growing market under firearms, projected to be $1 billion by 2026. Number one issue is they've had growth in rifles and other spaces, but for shotguns, hunters use mostly shotguns around here. So they're too heavy, they're too impractical to bring through a field. The current leading model is about this big, and you're going to have to walk many miles with that product. So let me introduce you to my dad, Robert. He previously designed silencers for the Marine Corps, and what we're trying to do is build the world's most practical shotgun silencer. Our competition is relatively small and large. We're aiming for right now, and we actually have 6 prototypes that we have completed. And we think these numbers are reasonable, and they're honestly well above our competition. A lot of the people in the space focused on a tactical audience, kind of like that protects their home, and the hunting space is it's growing, but it's unreached and unmet by our competitors. The market is very large, 83 million shotguns in the United States, and we're going to focus on the first target market to adopt of waterfowl. Now, why is this? We think waterfowl has the largest problem. They're taking the most amount of shots. They're never using hearing protection. They're in these metal blinds right next to each other, so the hearing damage is the worst for them. And then they're also scaring away the ducks from their property. And this hunting market is ripe to expand from, and overall, you can see there's a clear ability to scale. Demographics are mostly male, middle-aged, and about 50% meet the demographic that can afford this. Now, I plan on how to market this. I have a relationship with many major influencers that support my product, and from day one would be willing to put something out there. There's some major online retailers as well that would be happy to partner with us, and we've had initial talks with, and then eventually we'll have sales at your grandpa's brick and mortar store. One thing that I forgot to mention, we have actually recruited, as far as a few months ago, the #1 leading silencer designer in America, to be honest. He previously designed weapons with someone named Eugene Stoner. And so if you look at silencers in history, our team, has over 70 years of experience designing silencers, and this guy really adds some strong ethos to our team. Now the next steps, we just had our prototype delivered yesterday, which we haven't tested yet and are so excited to. We have patent beta sales, and then we have other silencer products that are basically done. So with this money, I would use this money to go to SHOT Show and to continue our prototyping. SHOT Show is an industry trade show this January. Thank you very much. I'm Walt.
All right, judges, you have 3 minutes.
Great presentation, Jordan. Can you talk a little bit about what you think your pricing will be for this?
Yep.
And how that would match up with your competitors?
So our competitors say about $1,000 is what they sell it for. Through customer discovery, they kind of validated that customers will pay that. Right now, the unit economics look that $200 is what it would cost of goods to create this, so that's an 80% gross margin. Net is about 40% on the unit economics.
So where do you think you would land then? Around $1,000?
We would, yeah, about 1,100 is what we're looking at, slightly premium, but yeah. And then that would come down over time as we want to expand to the larger market.
So, a nice job. You've made a lot of progress. You talked a lot about why people should care about this. Talk a little bit more about evidence you have that hunters actually want us.
So 200 customer discovery interviews, almost all of them say that hearing damage is a problem, and most of them say that they would be willing to purchase this. The other day I just saw a news article of someone made this silencer, and it was a huge silencer that they made in their own shop on their own because they felt that no one else was needing this. People are already solving that problem among hunters. People are buying and making their own, as I just said. However, it's just not a good silencer. They build it themselves and it's too big. It fits the same problem as the competitors to use long term for the entire market.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, so first of all, sorry for being late. I think one of the things that was biggest in my mind was you've got 7 prototypes of this existing silencer.
Yep.
You said that the next step for you is to take it out to the SHOT Show, is that right?
Yep.
And what else do you have on the slate? I mean, clearly you're not just going to go to the show, you're not done innovating, right? What's the next step?
The show is just to build relationships. It is absolutely working these prototypes until we have something to sell. As far as we talk about next products, there's some innovative rifle silencers that we're looking at. There's no shortage of needs or problems to solve in this space as far as if you go to hunters or even the tactical audience. But this is where the market opportunity is right now, so we're going to really try hard to get a good working prototype. And once we have the capital to think about it, we might, but this is our horse long term.
Sounds good.
Great presentation, love it. Couple things. Where did you find that information about hearing loss equating to the dementia?
So recent studies, I'm blanking on the name, about 3 years ago, suggest that
Make sure
hearing
you-
damage is
Make sure
you want me to
that.
put the source on the,
If you're gonna cite it, quote it.
yeah.
Or if you're gonna talk about it, quote it. The other thing is great description of why all these questions these judges ask, put that in the presentation. That's the stuff we really wanna know. Then the last thing, hunters might, if you get resistance with hunters wanting to adopt a silencer, they might not do it, but I love the idea of connecting it to their dogs, because a hunter will care more about their dogs
Absolutely.
than their own personal
Yeah.
health. So to make that connection, that's how you, that would be an interesting way to tie
Yeah,
it
that's a great point.
in. Love the idea, like everything you're doing is great.
Thank you.
All right, great job.